Happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. The following is the live call-in show from this past Sunday night, September 14th, 2025. Scotty G is just back from Ann Arbor and comes in, and we have a great discussion on dining around the Magic Kingdom, especially quick service dining and snacks. We also talk a lot about brunches around Walt Disney World, and our friend Eric calls in from Connecticut to speak with us about that. We also had some great discussions about traveling with large groups when you're the point person and you got to kind of herd the cats to get everybody moving in the right direction. This and much more coming your way on today's show. Don't forget, our podcast always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make this show possible, so thank you so very much to each of you. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd sure love to have you at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, September 14th, 2025. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. We are here to take your calls for the next hour at 407-584-7173. That's 407-584-7173. And my co-host coming in, he's from Must See Adventures, off an amazing weekend where his daughter got to come back from Michigan, from Ann Arbor, back to East Lansing. And apparently he's going to make the trek again sooner than he thought. Scotty G in the house. Scott, what's going on?
Happy Sunday, Mike. Happy to be here. It's I'm gonna have to go back. Emily left some stuff behind.
God love our
It was
daughters.
just weird because she was sick too. She ended up catching something because everyone in Ann Arbor is sick right now. So, and she was fine until Saturday,
Gets
during
back.
the football game, she started feeling sick, and then so we had to go take her to the Ready Care this morning and all that. It was oh, this has been a great weekend to have you home. So. But at least we could make sure she was okay, here in town. If if she had to see her doctor, it would have been good. But she's fine. It's just allergy, sickness stuff that's going around, So, but yeah, it wasn't as pleasant as a weekend with her as I was hoping. But there'll be another one soon.
It's the story of parenthood, I think. That's how.
Yes, it is.
That's how it always goes.
And then we come home and we realized she left her makeup and a whole bunch of other stuff. The second we walked in, we saw it basically. And oh my gosh, now we had to go back to Ann Arbor.
Yeah, and it never ends. My oldest is Paige, she's 28, I believe, at this time, and we're trying to get her phone fixed up in Chicago. And you got to go to the Verizon store, but we're still working through that as parents with her. So we'll get it figured out.
I
But we
think
love
Emily
our
would be
kids.
good figuring that out. It's just if she left it at home. I mean, she was just
exactly. I mean, you can't.
I guess
manual
you could take we have this thing called the Michigan Flyer in town where takes you from Ann Arbor to to Detroit Airport to East Lansing, which is how she got here on Friday, which is great. So we didn't have to pick her up. But I guess she could just do that, right? Just do a round trip and then come get her stuff. If I was really mean, I would do that. But
you're not going to do that.
Just another excuse to go see her, I guess.
You're going to go see her. All right. So we are here for the next hour again, taking your calls at 407-584-7173. We promised this week we'd open up the phone line sooner, but I thought we would drop in some possible topics from Friday's show. We went land by land and gave our favorite snacks in each land and also our favorite quick service dining from each land. And we carried on the conversation over in the clubhouse after the show this weekend. It's been very fun over there. And one of the kind of, things that came about was we also talked about I think I mentioned it, maybe Pam, about the lack of protein in the morning at the Magic Kingdom. If you're looking for something that isn't kind of a sweet breakfast, but you don't want to do table service, it's kind of hard to find something that's a little hearty. There's I think there's a breakfast bowl now at Lunching Pad that has like an
I think in
omelet.
Frontierland, there's a like a cart where you
There
get like a
is.
breakfast sandwich. We've done
Yep.
that before.
Yep. That was the other place. Yeah. So it's like Westward Ho or something like that.
Yes,
It's kind of
that's
right
the exact spot.
Yep.
Yes,
where you
Yep.
it's kind of across from Pecos Bills, where you turn the corner to go back to
Yeah, and then you can
Tiana's.
just take that. We've actually taken that and gone to Pecosville because they have a little outdoor seating area
Yep.
right there. We would just go down there. We would like rope drop, do a few things, and do that for our breakfast, which is actually really good.
Yeah, it's really clutch. But I mean, it's weird though, because there's probably only like 2 or 3, maybe 4 items in the whole
There's not
park.
much.
If you want, because you'll get the shakes if you just go for. But I mean, I'm an idiot, right? I always go for the Gaston's Big Cinnamon Roll because it's so dang good. But it burns off super fast, and then you got to kind of force your lunch a little bit earlier, which is fine. It's vacation, you can do that. But I was going to ask you, because again, this was one we did with Ricky and Pam. We're doing have to go land by land, but what are some of your favorite? Because the conclusion we came to, which I didn't see this before the show, but as we got the feedback after the show, which is why I love the clubhouse, because you kind of see everybody bring this, and then you kind of see a bigger picture. I think Jason said this, was that the food at the Magic Kingdom is serviceable, but not great. And I agree with that. A lot of times I'll hop over to Polynesian and maybe eat, or I'll hop over to the Contemporary. I'll use adjacent resorts a lot of times for dining. I do this at the studios too. But what are some of your favorite snacks? Because you didn't get your impet on Friday.
Yeah, I agree with that. I rarely like to eat at the Magic Kingdom. This is gonna be a funny snack because you can get this anywhere, but outside of Walt Disney World. But I love Main Street Bakery Starbucks. I love that.
That's what Pam
that
said.
coffee cake, that crumb cake is one of my favorite things. So that's kind of like one of our go-to breakfast items is, which is so silly, right? Because like I'm in Magic Kingdom and like I'm gonna go to Starbucks, right? And just go like right down the road and get. But I love that crumb cake. So I like to do that. But you know this about me, Mike. I love Crystal Palace. I think Crystal Palace is a solid breakfast. I kind of make it a brunch, right? I get that late breakfast after you rope drop, do a whole bunch of things. Then the park's filling up. So then that's when I do my breakfast / lunch, because it'll transition to lunch a little bit. That is 100% my go-to. You can get if you do the breakfast, you can get the churro waffle there.
Yep.
It used to be the Pooh's French toast, RIP. That was like my favorite thing ever. But yeah, from like a snack point, like it's mostly sweets for me, like kind of, I mean, you got did anyone talk about the egg roll cart?
Yeah, we talked about that because I had just had that for the very first time, like in the last year. I'd never had it, and it is good. I'd only had the cheeseburger one. I'd never had I still have not had the pepperoni. And by the way, Ricky said she doesn't like pepperoni. I couldn't believe that.
What?
I know, isn't that weird? I've never heard of a person who didn't like pepperoni.
I never heard her say that, or I mean,
I'd never heard that, but anyway,
it's interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I like that. I like when you talk about like the Dole Whip versus like the citrus swirl. I'm always like a citrus swirl type of guy, so I like getting one of those when we're there. But yeah, I really don't snack or eat much in the Magic Kingdom, which is kind of what you were saying the clubhouse was kind of saying over the weekend.
Yeah, I go to the same things over and over. Like I snack there, but I always get that pretzel at Lunching Pad, that sweet cream cheese pretzel. I mean, because it's a little sweet, just basic. I mean, it's very convenient. It doesn't get you messy. It's just easy to take on the go, eat while you're running around the park. I get that. I get ice cream sandwiches. Those are easy. They're everywhere. You can grab one of those. But like kind of for a meal, like quick service thing, I get the Casey's corn dog nuggets. That's kind of a thing I get there a lot. But somebody also mentioned that kind of COVID, like post-COVID, things have taken a hit at the Magic Kingdom, because Pecos Bills, for example, was way, way better pre-COVID. I mean, you had the bar, the menu was a lot stronger. I mean, people have kind of defended the menu, but I think the menu's taken a drastic, significant
I think
decline.
it has as well. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, you even said this the other day, like not the other day, but a few months ago, that you thought Columbia Harbor House was doing the same too, like the portion size.
The portions are microscopic, dude. It's like Pim's Test Kitchen.
Like it was funny. Like I was kind of behind the scenes, Mike. I was kind of teasing you, like in my mind, like, well, Mike always has a big appetite because he runs, so many miles in the morning. Like maybe he's not. Maybe he was just so hungry and like he imagined that they're smaller. But I talked to Beth about it. She's like, "Oh no, Scott, those portions are way smaller."
It's ridiculous.
So sorry that I was like prejudging you a little bit. I was just like, I was just thinking about you, like, man, you might think everything is a small portion after you run like 13 miles
No,
in the morning, but
no,
no, you're right.
it was, and it's weird because, I know like this was a thing like what, like 3 or 4 years ago that, somebody said something in the Disney company, like we are doing this for you, like the guests' own good, like bringing the sizes down. I'm like, come on now, you're just doing that. It makes more money, right? You charge the
Yeah.
same price, less food, you make more money. Don't lie to us.
Yeah, it was something about the waist
Yeah,
the waist
dude.
sizes need to shrink or
Oh,
something. It was
yeah.
a weird
Dude,
comment.
you're lying. Just say you're just trying to make more money. You're not serving as much food for the same price. You make more. We can see right through that. But dude, but it wasn't everywhere. Cause like some places you're still getting the same amount of food. Like it was there. And like, I always felt like at Columbia Harbor House, you got a decent amount of food. Like I felt like that was a decent value proposition. And like the last couple times I've gone in there, I'm like, I'm going to have to get almost 2 entrees to get enough food. And that was never the case. So,
Yeah.
and it hurts me because that was always my go-to. And now simply because of portion size, I might go to a different location, and that bothers me because I like the food there. But if I don't get it, if I'm not going to get full, I'm going somewhere else, and I'm not going to buy two entrees. I'm not.
I just wish we had more. I know we're about to start taking some calls, but like think about like the hard ticket event parties. There's usually like that's the thing you go for. We always talk about, hey, what should I do at the party? It's my first time. We always say, oh, focus on the event specific merchandise or parades or the food items. And there's like special food items during the Halloween party and Christmas. I wish they kind of had those like all year long, like kind of changing them, like these special like treats at Pecos Bill or whatever. Like each place could have like a couple different unique ones. It seems like they really only do that for the parties, and I would love to see that spread out throughout all seasons at Walt Disney
That's a
World.
good idea because, a lot of folks can only go when they can go, like teachers can't go a lot of time for the Halloween party because, conferences are going on and school's in and, try things. I agree with that. Also,
And every now and then there might be a cupcake or something, right? A red, white, and blue cupcake, or
Yeah.
who knows? But like, I would like to just see bigger quantities of that, more options, and just have it throughout the whole year. It'd be great.
That's a great idea. And by the way, Francesca says, she loves a Nutella waffle sandwich at Sleepy Hollow, but it's pretty much a full meal. I agree with that. That's a great snack / almost a quick service meal. Totally agree with that. By the way, she had a topic, which I was going to bring up tonight for kind of a secondary topic, because we were talking, she's trying to put together a group for a trip. And she was asking me, because, we've been going back and forth trying to get this all done. It's been over a series of days, and I think it's stretched into a week or two at this point. And she's apologizing. I'm like, don't apologize. This happens all the time. But she says it's like herding cats. She says that, she's the Disney fan and she's working with other people in the family and in the group that's going. And there's no sense of urgency for them to like get back to her because she's trying to get this whole trip together, right? To get the dates and, who's going to go, who's not going to go, what kind of hotel do we want to stay in, all this stuff. And so she's like, well, would that be a good topic for a show? Like if you've been the point person in your travel group and you're trying to, in quotes, herd the cats, your stuff, but you're trying to get, like the in-laws and the cousins and, everybody else in the family who doesn't know the dynamics of a Walt Disney World vacation, doesn't know all the stuff that's involved. They think they're going to Six Flags. What advice do you have if you've put this together? Like, how did you get everybody on board so that you made it successfully happen? Because, we've been going back and forth. She's like, I'm still trying to get with everybody. Like, I think I have everybody now. I think I know how many people are going, I think that, this is the family that's going, but she was, she was apologizing. Like, no, this happens all the time. But she was like, what advice do you have? I'm like, well, you're doing it. There's really no good advice, but I thought we'd throw that out there. And Scott, I know you have sometimes at your work meetings, informal lunches and so forth, like you said, Disney lunches, but I think everybody that gets into this point at some time where you are trying to be the point person, but it probably does get frustrating for everybody where you are trying to get everybody to get that train moving in the right direction. But everybody kind of just like, they don't see an urgency. And you just like, let's get this done. But I don't know like what advice people have for that.
Yeah, it's hard. Like my work lunches that you talk about, like I've had so many of them. I kind of have like a list of questions in the order I like to ask them, like because I always start with like the resort, like what's your budget? So I always give them a couple options, like here's some value resorts, here's the pros and cons, here's the I try to get them on a resort, but then they're like, well, my in-laws aren't very mobile, like and then
Yep.
like then they just start dropping me all these questions, like it's it's a lot of work, right?
It is. It is. It's a lot.
And like, and my advice always is like just really good communication with everybody. Like, Mike, I know you're not the biggest fan of group text. Maybe it's like a big email with every chain with everybody on it, but like you really got to have good communication, maybe some FaceTimes every now and then if you don't all live together. But just getting that group together to chat about these things like frequently, I think is really important to make sure that you're set up for a great vacation.
All right. Well, hey, we got the rest of the hour. So we got, it looks like about a good 45 minutes. So let's open up those phone lines at 407-584-7173 and anything that's on your mind. We can take questions. We can talk about these topics. Let's have some fun here. So let me get this going. So give us a call.
I love the 33-person trip planning. That's a lot of people.
Dude, Jennifer,
sounds like a podcast cruise.
Yeah, no kid. Jennifer's got this under control. She's from the Westplex here in St. Charles County. She's a piece of cake.
Well, I remember one time we had a big meetup with the Lizards, and she had the genius idea of bringing like name tags for everybody, which I thought was great. And now, then we ended up doing that at another meetup, like the mini golf one. I think it was so smart.
How smart is it to bring name tags to an event? Like we never thought to do that. Like for 10 events, like name tags.
I know, because I'm so bad. Like sometimes, like I'll never forget once. Like I met someone at one of those events, and I saw them in the corrals. It was a wine and dine later that night, and I totally forgot what their name was. It was because I met so many people that day, and I felt so bad.
I have like a thing. I can't remember names. Like I love meeting people, but I get so nervous that I can like I could turn around. You could tell me your name. I'll turn around and talk to somebody else. 5 minutes later, I'll turn back around. I can't remember a name. I'm just, I have this thing. It's a thing. So hang on.
But I'll say that it was Carrie. I think Carrie still listens to the show, but his bib at Wine and Dine was like a different name. So that's why I was like, oh,
that'll get
maybe
you.
I haven't met this guy. And he's like, yeah, remember we talked earlier today?
Whose bib did we have that one time we were at Wine and Dine?
Eugene,
that was the one. Yes, I was gonna say, I'll never forget that, Eugene. All right, I think we have our first call because we had two come in at the exact same time. Caller, you there? Nope. Hang on. Let's see here. What do I got?
Let's not have technical issues tonight.
No, we shouldn't. Hang on. It's because two came in at the same time. Hang on.
All right, Mike's playing with the board, trying to figure it out.
Am.
Two at the same time. That's challenging. Could we do like a group call? That'd be kind of funny with like multiple listeners.
I don't know. All right, try to call back. All right, 407-584-7173. Let's try not to get them at the exact same time, but I mean, you can't tell when you're calling in, but I'll just have to be quicker on the grab there on the. I'm ready. I'm poised on the board here. I was talking, so I didn't get to grab it, and there were two calls. Here we go. Bonk.
Okay, Mike's going it. While he's getting that, I do see a question about resorts at Halloween time for kids 8 to 14. So I've been at Old Key West on Halloween, and they did something great. They did like trick or treating. There was like a scavenger hunt with things, and I think sometimes characters come out. So again, that was like a few years ago, so I can't like promise that's something that they do every year. And that was specifically at Old Key West, but I do know the resorts really do try to make some fun things. I've been there at Easter too at Coronado, where they did like a Easter egg hunt. So like on the day of the holiday, they definitely try to do some fun holiday things at the resorts for sure. I just depend on what resort you're staying at, Paul.
That's true. All right, let's try this one more time. I don't know what just happened there either. This could be one of those nights. Maybe we got an update on the computer. I hope not. I know Windows update, but this is on a Mac, so hopefully not. Best offsite hotel for Disneyland. Talk about that for a dawn. I mean, I've only stayed at 3 offsite hotels, so I don't have great advice.
Well, you stayed more than me. I've only stayed at 1 offsite hotel, and that's the Fairfield on Harbor Boulevard. And I would say like 5, 6, 7 years ago, I would have recommended it easily every time. You got like the Panera that's close by, so it's really great for grabbing like a little breakfast on your walk, or there's a McDonald's next door if you want that. My family likes to just grab like a breakfast sandwich at the at Panera, then walk on over really close to the entrance to Disneyland. My problem is though, it's kind of been getting a little dated. The last time I stayed there for January 24 for the Run Disney race, it was just feeling kind of outdated. They got rid of some other features. The pool is really great though. I really enjoy the pool there, and you can see fireworks from Disneyland like out. I mean, you don't have like rooms with balconies, but they're kind of like a value, right? You can just kind of walk outside your door and see and look outside. So that's what we do, and we see the fireworks from there. So still a great location. I would just like to see them doing some updates there. I know Mike is a big fan of the Howard Johnson. I believe he stayed there one of his last times. Like I think you said it had like a little retro vibe that you were
It
kind of digging,
did.
right?
It did. It was you're really nice. Yeah. I loved it. I'm staying there
And that's
again.
right by the Fairfield too, so that's not far away from any kind of like any place on Harvard is good. I know there's like, but then you can go up more upscale too. You can go to a JW Marriott, which I've heard is pretty good. I know Wade is in the chat. I don't know if he's still listening, but I know he's stayed at a lot of those good neighbors over the years, and he might be able to chime in. But Fairfield, Howard Johnson, those are like good, affordable, really close, easy to walk to resorts that I would recommend.
All right. I am trying on the 203 person who's trying to call in. I am getting it, but it's not giving us mic access again, which this happened. This
Oh
is
no,
what happened. This is what happened like 3 months ago, remember? And
I do remember.
I'm going to fix it. So hang on. I see the setting.
I know the Candy Cane Inn is another popular one. I just can't speak to that. Like, I think we talked about this before, Mike. I think it's the name.
I have said that.
Of the hotel that intrigues
because it
people.
sounds so cute that I think people will love it. Yeah. Yeah. I think the Candy Cane Inn is popular because of the name. More, I mean, people don't come back though and say they didn't like it, but I think it was super smart to name it that because it sounds so cute. Like it's great marketing.
Yeah, but lots of great options for. We got Jason saying he likes the Anaheim Hotel, the Courtyard next to the Fairfield. Oh yeah, I'm familiar with the Courtyard. That's right next door. Yeah, is great. And the Residence Inn. There's so many great options, and I feel like a lot of them are basically about the same. I mean, some are going to have some better, some better perks. Some might be a little bit further away and not so great, but they're going to be safe. They're going to be close to the parks. I mean, that's one thing I'll say about when you're staying at an offsite hotel. You do have to walk through like Harbor Boulevard, and you're walking through the neighborhoods of Anaheim. Sometimes you'll see cast members like waiting for the bus, which like threw me off the first time. I was like, oh my gosh, like that person's wearing their Tomorrowland or Cars outfit and they're waiting for the bus. And sometimes you'll walk past some homeless people or some people like just trying to sell things to you, which is not very magical or Disney, but that's just, I mean, it's just kind of how it is when you're out there and you're just staying off site and that close to the parks.
Yeah. The thing was, and I'm restarting the computer. We'll do what we can. If not, we will just take questions from the chat, which is we'll just go from
kind of what we're doing right now.
Exactly. And I apologize for this. Just I don't know why that happens like every 3 months, but it did. But we'll get this. And we had the best intentions, but we'll get this working. But I will say, because I was at Disneyland Hotel my first couple stays out there, fell in love with Disneyland Hotel, love it. But I have for like these race weekends where I'm out there by myself, I will stay to save some money offsite right there. And I've stayed at Grand Legacy. That's a basic hotel, but you cannot beat the location. And I've stayed at I've stayed at the Howard Johnson, and I love the Howard Johnson. It's a little bit further down, but I love that retro vibe. And I had a great room on the first floor, which really helped. I didn't have to like go up in the tower or anything. But you're right about seeing, like, I think the first couple of times, yeah.
I like how Wade like to put it.
Right, characters. Like you see the guy selling the things that go shooting up into the air at the intersection, and like the guy playing the
guy has a bunch of parrots or birds.
Yes, yeah, exactly. The guy like wanted to sell you a picture.
I mean, they're friendly.
Like,
they're friendly, but like it's just like it's not like it's not Disney necessarily. It's not like the bubble.
It's not the bubble. Yeah, you definitely step off the bubble because you're going past the Perkins and McDonald's, and it's fine at Denny's. But what I noticed was after like day 2, it was fine. Like I didn't even notice it. Like the first day, I'll be honest. Like I was like, this is weird. Like I was like, this isn't a Disney trip. But then like day 2, day 3, it didn't even bother me. It was just like walking back to the hotel.
Yeah. And the walks really aren't that far. I've only stuck to Harvard. I know there's like I can't think of the other like crossroads over there, but I know there's like other roads that you can stay on too. I'm just familiar with the ones on Harbor. It just always works out for me.
That's one I sent, but it's what's the other one? Hang on, I'm also trying to get this. I'm trying to hook this.
Mike's trying to figure it out. There's a question about Hilton Head too. So have you ever been to Disney Hilton Head? So I've spent a couple summers at Hilton Head, like 2018, 2019, and I did not stay there with our DVC points, but I did walk over. I did a couple training runs and ran over there, saw Shadow the dog. I don't think Shadow's there anymore, which is kind of a bummer, but hung out there. And I agree with Carrie. Like it's It's a great looking resort. It sounds like they had an amazing time with the Disney charm there. And I agree. It was just since we were actually staying with Pam, the Foresters and some other friends, and like it just was easier for us to rent a house like on the beach versus like the marsh side there with the Disney resort. But it was great. I loved it. I loved the theming. It just felt homey, right? I think those are beautiful villas that they have there. So glad to hear that you had a great time. Mike is standing up, checking in on the technology,
I was plugging things in. So let's see what we got.
rebooting. Anyone else throw some questions in? You got Scotty G here while Mike's while Mike's trying to figure out the board.
Let's see.
You're getting some comments on your legs today, Mike. Yeah, like those runner legs.
Oh my gosh. Whatever.
Standing up.
Sorry about that. Oh my gosh.
Anyone in the chat having some upcoming trips? So my next trip is going to be Wine and Dine, and Emily was supposed to come with us. Get this, so I registered for Wine and Dine, do some peer pressure. Like I was kind of semi-retired from Run Disney, but the pressure always gets you. And Emily turns 18 that weekend, so like I was like, oh yeah, Emily, like I'm gonna bring her. Like I booked a Oki West studio pretty early on in the process. Got it at 11 months. Gonna bring Emily. We'll celebrate her 18th birthday. This is while she was still in high school. Not thinking about how challenging. I mean, it's still challenging to pull them out of school in high school, but my mind was so locked in on senior year because this was like 11 months ago. And I wasn't thinking that she was going to be at Michigan or Michigan State or whatever school she was going to end up with. And like, it's definitely harder to pull them out of college. So Emily is not going now. Good thing I didn't register for any races. But I just decided to move because a lot of our friends are staying at Coronado. So we're going to be staying at the home of the BOGP Discord, Coronado Springs. I swear, Mike, I land at Coronado more than any other resort lately.
It's like a great default place to stay. It's a moderate. It's in the middle. It's got good dining. It's got a good location.
And the price point has been really good lately with discounts.
Especially if you have an AP. You can always hit an AP. Like it's got.
I'll look at it. I'm like, well, it beats out any other moderate right now. Sometimes it beats out Pop Century like Pop Century is just full because they're not offering a discount because they're like sold out or whatever. So it's like, all right, well, for a couple $100, like $250, wherever it might be, is like Wine and Dine can be kind of busy. I can't remember what we paid, but I'm just like, wow, that is that's a steal. I got to go with Coronado.
All right, let's see if maybe by miracle we got this working. Let's see.
I like what Jason's saying. Coronado is a moderate plus at this point.
Caller, you there?
I hear nothing.
I think we're closer. Hang on.
Oh, we're getting closer. Question. We have it up on the screen here. How good is Boma on half marathon day? Boma is spectacular any day you're there. But yes, especially after running a half marathon, and especially when you're running a half marathon, it's the end of your challenge. So like marathon weekend, maybe, I don't know, because then you still got the butterflies in your stomach thinking about the next morning still. Like, man, I got to do this twice over tomorrow. But when it's like a Sunday and you're done with the challenge for the weekend, like Boma is so good. I can't believe how late Boma is open though for breakfast. Like we're doing 11 a.m. breakfast. Like
that's
like
good.
I'm gonna be up for like so many hours at that point. You know what I'm saying? And like ran a half marathon. But it kind of makes sense because Boma doesn't have lunch, so it kind of makes sense that they can stretch their breakfast out pretty long there. So kind of wish they did a brunch on the weekend. How sweet would that be? Like a Boma brunch.
Oh, Boma brunch would be really good.
Like where they had like some of the soups out, like. I swear, like at 10 a.m. they should just switch it over to brunch and maybe run it to like 2 p.m. or something on the weekends. I think I'm coming up with a great idea here, like Boma brunch on the weekends.
And there's not a lot of brunches on property either. I mean, and
like,
I think
Disney Springs, like you kind of see it a little bit, but
you would think if it were me, I would almost have a brunch at every resort. Like on the weekends, maybe on the weekends, on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, Olivia's has one on the weekends too. Actually, I wonder if they do it daily. I can't remember now, but yeah, I like where you're going there on the weekends. Yeah, let's have some brunch.
Okay, so
I guess brunch might be more for like the locals, I guess, which is maybe why the resorts don't do it. Why you see more of it at Disney Springs? Because when you're on vacation, like almost every day is the weekend.
That's true.
Right? Like, it doesn't really matter Saturday or Sunday.
Yep, that is true. We're almost there. Shaggy,
All right,
they
Mike's
could hear
Mike's
me.
still
We
playing with
couldn't hear
technology.
them. So keep the questions coming for Scotty in the chat, and we're going to get this thing up and running here.
Yeah. So got
One-
3 trips after the season: Disneyland half weekend, Princess weekend, and springtime surprise weekend. All right, Sean's got some stuff coming up. Staying at the Disneyland Hotel, Coronado, and Pop. Those are 3 amazing places to stay at. Oh man, Disneyland Hotel. We were just kind of talking about that a little bit. Great spot. Coronado, obviously, and Pop is like the theme. That is like a run weekend resort. I mean, you say a Pop or a Run Disney weekend, and you're not a runner, you're going to be like,
Exactly.
what is going on here?
100%. We'll keep trying to call in. We'll try to get this working. If not, we'll just give up on it. But we're getting closer.
But you know what's funny? So I got my waiver, Mike, for
Wine and dine.
yeah, and it said I had 3 races. I'm like, oh, I got to do a waiver for like each one, I guess, because like I'm doing the 5K and the challenge. But no, it was the 5K, the challenge, and a 10K that I have for springtime surprise. I totally forgot I signed up for another race because the springtime surprise is Tigger and Winnie the Pooh. And my mom was
Oh yeah, I remember that.
that
You
was her
signed up for
favorite
that.
character of all time. I was like, oh my god, if Tigger's going to be on a medal, like I have to do
Yep.
that.
I saw that.
And then I kind of registered for it like as insurance. Like this is how we're trained, right? As Run Disney people, like 9 months out, you're like, well, I don't know if I can really commit. I don't know what my schedule's going to look like, but if I don't register now, like I won't be able to register again later. So I've just registered without knowing if I'm actually going to go or not. But now I'm thinking like, yeah, April April trip sounds pretty good, So now I need to start looking for a room for that because they're probably filling up.
I think we got Shaggy. I think we got it.
Did we fix it?
If he can hear us, Shaggy, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
It was the miracle of miracles. It only took, see, my dad can do this in 5 seconds during a Super Bowl, and it takes me 30 minutes to do it for less than 100 people on the internet. That's the difference between myself and my dad.
I really hope you didn't hear me singing.
We did. We know we heard you singing, but Scott was talking, so
Well, it's
only
not
I
Shaggy.
heard you.
I believe it's Eric.
Oh, is it Eric? I don't know. Oh, it's Eric. Okay, because we had all kinds of people calling in, dude. It was like a Christmas tree, of course. Like we go forever to get a call, and then when I get technical difficulties, but I did take a picture of what the settings look like right now. So we're here. Eric, God bless you. God bless America that we got this thing working. I am now covered in sweat like I was at the football game yesterday again because I was trying to get I want things to be perfect, and it was not tonight. So I apologize, but thanks for calling in. We're going to stop talking. Scott's going to run the 10K that he didn't know was happening. He's going to get that awesome Tigger medal.
From talking right now.
I love that he's getting to do that, though. That is awesome. But I love that when you get a race that you forgot you signed up for. That's even better. So
but now I got to book a flight and I got to book a hotel room. So like, wow, maybe I'll just call that a wash and just throw away my registration.
No, you got to get it. Most expensive medal ever.
I had the annual pass now, so I kind of have
exactly. So what's on your mind, Eric? What's up?
Well, I got 2 things, and I guess my best advice. I'll start with the best advice for traveling with a large group, and that would be, you've gone mute, but don't give too many choices for certain things. Don't give too many choices for a hotel. There you go. I got you now. Don't give too many choices for a park day. Like give 1 hotel in each category, or like 1 day for each park, and say which order would you like to do them. That way they're not being overwhelmed with choice, and they're still getting a little bit of decision making there. No one will be too disappointed in what they get.
That's a great call. You're right, because it's like that paralysis by too much, not analysis, but too much information. It's like, well, just look, get maybe here, this or that, just like 2 choices.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you're really arguing over price point more than you're arguing over amenities and things like that. The other thing for each park, put together a spreadsheet. Ask people like the 3 things that they most want to go on. And it can either be majority rules or the best thing when it comes to a large group, break off and then meet together for meals.
Yes.
So if you're got 3 groups that wants to do thrill rides, let them go off. The other group goes with the families, and everyone meets back together at Columbia Harbor House or wherever you decide to go for your meal that day. That keeps everyone happy. You don't get a large group, you can get a lot of friction going there. I traveled with a large group, and even though everyone got along, people began to argue and things began to fray. You need a little bit of time apart too. So those are probably my best advices for traveling with a large group.
Eric, that is great advice. And I'll tell you what, so firsthand from this, I'm going to get Scott's feedback on this too. Now, this was even before Scott. So we used to go down and do this thing with the podcast called Epic October. This was way back when they used to run the Tower of Terror 10 miler at the end of, it was like around this time of the year. It was like the end of September, beginning of October. And they would do it before Food and Wine Festival would start. So it'd be like that. It was the first weekend of Food and Wine Festival. And I think it was the last weekend of September is when they did it. Anyway, there would be a Thursday where they would soft open Food and Wine at Epcot. And then the race was that weekend. And so we'd all go around with the podcast, like we'd have a podcast meetup and we'd all go around the Food and Wine Festival together and go to the booths. Well, this one year we had a ton of listeners. Like we had a ton. And we decided to go around together. There were like 75 of us, no kidding, going around Food and Wine Festival. We tried to go around together. And it was it was great because we had a lot of listeners, but it was impossible to do this as a group because I would go to a booth that I didn't want anything, right? And it wasn't trying to be mean, but you can't keep 75 people together at Food and Wine because if you want to stop and get a Belgian waffle and somebody else doesn't, you're going to want to stop and eat that Belgian waffle while somebody else wants to go to Japan and get a frushi, and you start losing people and you kind of feel bad. Like, should I stay or should you just move on? And like you say, I think the best thing is to kind of give people freedom through the day, meet back for meals. Mm-hmm. And then you report and you say, what did you enjoy today? And talk about, share your pictures, share your stories.
Even if you, go to Food and Wine, we're going to be in this general area. I'll save a table, everyone go grab a bite and come back here with your food or so, cause you usually have 5 or 6 of the booths around the central area.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Like a mini. Yeah. Let's just stay in these 3 countries. You grab a pretzel, mm-hmm. You grab something from Italy, you grab something from China. Okay, let's boom right here. So Scott, I think this is great advice. I love this. Limited choices, boom, freedom, meet for meals. I think Eric's got it nailed.
Yep, definitely has it nailed. And I'll just say so yeah, I bring the fun all the time. I had this high energy, but sometimes you just need to escape your social group just for a little bit.
Yes.
Sometimes Liz will just say to me sometimes, Scott, you don't seem to be on in quotes sometimes.
You're not bringing it.
Then she thinks I'm grumpy or something. No, I'm not. It's just I've been talking to a lot of people today, and sometimes you need 30 minutes to an hour sometimes just to be with a different group sometimes, just reset, get it back together, then we'll come together at night and then I'll have more energy, So I think that's really important from a social aspect too, because sometimes you're with the same people all day and then you're just at the end of the night, you got nothing else to say.
You're exhausted.
or talk about. So I like splitting it up and breaking it up.
Give them separate bedrooms.
Yeah. It's like your mental bandwidth is just, it maxes out at some point. You just got to, that as an educator. It's just it's hard.
Oh, yeah.
Can't be on all day.
Yeah.
Everybody's like that.
Can I ask you all a question now about food?
Sure.
You were talking about, breakfast places, lunch places, dinner places. My girlfriend is really very much a brunch person. She loves breakfast. Lunch, I believe, is somewhat of an obligation to her. And dinner is something that she, begrudgingly enjoys. So she's really into the whole brunch thing. There's not a lot of brunches at Disney. There's Olivia's, but they're a little bit far off. I know there's a few at Disney Springs. Mm-hmm. What are some good options for a brunch? We've done the late buffet idea. Mm-hmm. So if you get the buffet at 10 o'clock at the Crystal Palace, sometimes you can carry over into lunch, and that kind of is a faux brunch. But what are your ideas for brunches?
You got people rave about the homecoming brunch. I know Scott's not big on that one, but it is probably one of the highest rated. Boathouse has a brunch, mm-hmm. I believe. Correct.
The Raglan Road one is the one I'm very curious about because Jason talks about it, the French toast there.
Yeah. We'll put this out, everybody's listening again over in the clubhouse. Obviously, when this plays, we'll get a lot of feedback over there, but I'm trying to think offhand.
it's kind of funny because we were just kind of talking about
Yeah, we
this.
were while I was trying to fix everything.
And Eric, I mean, you nailed it. Like it's my Lake Crystal Palace ADR that leads into lunch. Like, so you can find but it's buffet. That's kind of part of the problem. But if you can find like a buffet that has a breakfast and a lunch, Hollywood and Vine would be another one. Like those are kind of good ways to kind of make it like your own unofficial brunch.
I know Disney says if you do breakfast, you should stick to the breakfast because it's different price points.
Yep.
I always feel a little guilty about going over and grabbing a chicken wing or something like that when I'm doing that. But it is possible, and they really don't stop you.
No, I've had my servers tell me like, hey, it's okay if you want to stick around. We're just switching it over. I'm still going to charge you for the breakfast, but I've had servers just say, go on up and grab something if you like, if you're still hungry. So it's happened. Like I've been encouraged to do it before.
Oh my gosh, my friend Terry.
I've never had anyone say anything.
Terry and Jared. Gosh, I haven't seen them for quite a while. Hey, good to see you guys. Wine Bar George. That's another one at Disney Springs. It gets tons of love. That one gets tons of love as well.
So does the gospel brunch or whatever.
Yes,
House of Blues is
House of Blues gospel brunch. Yeah, that one's kind of a hidden. Everybody raves about that one.
I think it was our friend that rode the bike, right? Like he went for a trip just to do that, I think.
Yes. And like you don't hear much about it, but everybody loves it. And like Jason, I mean, I don't know like if he like underwrites this Raglan Road deal, the brunch, but he said he'll stake his Disney cred on that is that good because it must be rocking.
Okay.
I trust him 100%. I trust him 110% his cred.
But yeah, it's funny. Me and Mike were just saying this. We need to see more of this, like at the resorts. I feel like Olivia's is like one of the only ones I think I know of that at the resorts. That I mean, they used to do them. Like so, California Grill had the brunch at the top, which was unbelievable. Narcoossee's did a brunch for a little while too. This is all pre-pandemic, and unfortunately, those things have not returned, which I would love to see return.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Eric.
I'll
Hey,
check the clubhouse after this airs.
Yeah, that's a great thing about the clubhouses, man. You'll get a lot of feedback, and the thing is, it's a big conversation, so we'll have fun talking about this. So, hey, you have a good one. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the patience. Thanks for the 17,000 calls because we got it working. See you, bud. Bye.
Hey, you can't test unless you have.
I know.
You can't get it right unless you have someone test you.
Hey, thank you. You're the best. Talk to you later, Eric.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.
All right. Oh, my gosh. He did. He stuck with us. Okay. So let's keep it going. 407-584-7173. Let's hope we just didn't get lucky, which is probably what happened, but who knows? We'll roll the dice. Let's try it again. 407-584-7173. Yes, and we're getting, I like what Jennifer said right here. It's a contemporary 11:30 breakfast after rope dropping is a great midday break, but still with breakfast food is her brunch. I've done that many times with Ohana breakfast, like that last breakfast. Because when I go to a brunch, I'll be honest, I get breakfast food. Like
Not
brunch.
Me. I don't. So I actually can't stand breakfast.
Really? See, I do breakfast for dinner all the time. I love breakfast for dinner.
Me and Emily both, which is unfortunate for Liz, because she's kind of outnumbered in this. But like, so we'll take her to breakfast, like on Mother's Day, things like that. But she likes breakfast. I cannot stand breakfast, honestly.
Really? See, I talked about that on Mike in the Midwest. Like, we're like brothers. I love you. I do anything for you. Like, if you need anything, I'd be there. But here's the thing, like, because today's Mike in the Midwest is about potlucks. And I know how you feel about potlucks. And I love potlucks. I mean, like, we could not be more like on the opposite side of things with that. But I love you. But like opposite sides, dude. It like I could eat breakfast every day of the week, like for dinner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I could have pancakes. I could have biscuits and gravy. I could have sausage. It wouldn't bother me. And then you tell me this, I'm like, oh, you're breaking my heart, Scotty G.
It's kind of funny. Jason's in the chat. Jason from Michigan, and I know there's a couple Jasons out there. And like I invited to his tailgate yesterday, and that's how I feel. The same thing with me with like potlucks. It's like a tailgate's kind of like a potluck.
Yeah, it's a total tail. Yeah,
I'm like, I ate before Jason because I knew I wasn't going to eat at the tailgate. But I mean, it's kind of different because like if it's grilled food, I think it's a little bit different. And I can see them doing it. Makes it better. I don't know what people are doing in their kitchen.
I just love the justification for the whole thing.
I know.
It's so funny to me. Oh my gosh. Elizabeth over on Instagram says, any plans to go on the Disney Destiny? I mean, eventually I'm going to go on the Disney Destiny because that's the only ship I haven't been on so far. Yeah, totally.
Yep. Me too.
I can't wait.
And I like that. I like that Port Everglades. And I know that's going to be doing a lot of Port Everglades in the beginning, that ship.
Yeah.
If you're not doing a Disney like world trip, like that's a great port to sail out. If you can fly there, like sometimes that might be a hard airport to get to. Like luckily here, Detroit has a direct, so that was pretty easy for us to get to. But in Fort Lauderdale, but yeah, I really liked sailing out of there.
But I've heard sometimes you get cheap flights down there too, though.
See,
I
there you
mean,
go. Because the
yeah.
beautiful, like, so when you go to Port Canaveral, you fly to Orlando, then you got to drive all that or get a ride or whatever. Like, it's like a 10-minute Uber ride to the port from there, you know. And there's hotels close by. Like, it was just really convenient, I thought, for cruising.
And I have guests who are doing world trips now that are taking that Bright Line, the train.
Oh, okay,
Down
I
to
like
Port
that.
Everglades, yeah, because the thing is that train is super nice. Like it has high speed internet, so you just sit down on the train, you can do some work
Yeah.
or watch a
I know
movie for a
our
couple
old
hours.
friend Hotchberg does that because he's local now, I think, like in Orlando area.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
he'll take the Bright Line and fly out of Miami
yeah.
or cruise out of
And
Miami
they
and all
say
that.
it's
Because
like,
like
yeah,
you could just connect the Wi-Fi, relax
yeah,
for a little
sit there,
bit.
watch
It's
a movie.
nice.
You could do a couple hours of work. You know, like if you
Yeah.
got to like do work a half day, you can work a half day while you're on the train. They serve food. You know, boom. I mean, that sounds awesome to me. Like I love trains. I mean, I've only been on a train a couple times.
Yeah.
Like I know it's an
And
Amtrak.
anyone that does all the driving, like that sounds
Exactly.
so nice to me. Like
Yeah,
I can just sit back and not worry about that. And yeah.
yeah, sign me up. All right, 407 584 7173. You want to get in? The phone lines are open 407 584 7173. The other thing, too, about the Destiny, which is interesting, is that thing's kind of bouncing around between Bahamian cruises and Western Caribbean cruises. Like
Oh, you
again, as a
mentioned that.
travel agent, I don't, I got to be careful because, it's not like a consistent run. Like the Treasure is always going to be Western and Eastern Caribbean cruises. That one's going to be doing different itineraries.
It's funny. We were talking about this last night with our friend Beth on the phone that because the Adventure moved its launch date to like a few months now.
Yeah.
But, like,
Tell me about it. That was my whole last week.
But I'm like, I'm kind of curious about those itineraries. I haven't really looked into it, but like that could be intriguing to me a little bit. Like that would be kind of cool to visit, I feel like.
So, speaking of that, though, so one of my guests got wiped out by that. Great guest,
Dang,
June.
that's
I love her.
unfortunate.
Unfortunate, but she rebooked on a cruise, and it's the Wonder sailing out of Auckland, New Zealand.
See, that sounds spectacular.
I didn't even know the Wonder was going to be in Auckland, New Zealand. She's
Yeah.
like, I'll take the Wonder out of Auckland, New Zealand. I'm like,
Okay, that sounds
okay.
great.
I was like, I didn't even know the Wonder was going to be in Auckland, New Zealand, but that sounds amazing. Let's go. And you know
Yeah.
what? It wasn't even that expensive. It was like way less.
Getting there for us would be
yeah,
very
exactly.
challenging. Yes.
But I mean, it was very reasonable. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, Nicola, she's another one. I get right here. She's another one. She has not rebooked yet. But
Dang,
yeah, she was wiped
thanks.
out by one of those adventure cruises
Yeah.
too.
I'm very curious about it, and I love Disney Cruise Line, and it's not like I mean, it's gonna feel like a Disney ship. I think once you're in there, like it's gonna be so much bigger than what we're used to.
Oh,
But
huge.
but we do the same itineraries, right, Mike? We do like these Westerns and Easterns and Bahamas. Like, so I kind of want to branch out and look at other itineraries are often. And this would just be very unique, I feel like, for Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah, I kind of like to take the baby steps, right? Like, I mean, my next one is definitely going to be Panama Canal. Like, I've never done a long cruise. Like, I mean, 7 nights. That's a long cruise, man. And it's going to take a lot to get Pam to go on a cruise for 13 nights. She's already said, that's a long time, Mike. I said, it is. That is, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. That's a long cruise. But I mean, I'll be on the cruise for a month. Like, I'm totally for that. But, for somebody that's not like a cruise nut, like, and she likes cruising, but I mean, 13 nights is a, because we've done 12 nights. We did a 7 and a 5 back to back. And it was 2 different ships, but, 13 nights. Yeah, it'll be awesome. Like, I'll love every minute. And plus I've always wanted to see the Panama Canal for the engineering.
That'd be
of it.
sweet,
Like, I just
yeah.
want to see the Panama Canal.
I recently watched a Love Boat episode where they're
Oh my gosh,
sailing through there.
that's my favorite one. I've seen it like probably 10 times. Yeah, where they're
Yeah.
just sailing through and they got like the locomotives on each side that pull it
Yes,
through.
yes.
Yeah, I gotta see. I don't even know if they do that anymore, but I want to see it. Yeah. And
But that's a lot of sea day. I mean, so that's the thing. We did a back-to-back 7 nights in Europe last year, but we were getting on and off the ship, like doing all these excursions. So, but on that one, like you're on the ship like for a long time. Like
Yeah.
those are lots of sea days.
which I love sea days. I don't know,
I know,
like
I do too. Like, I'd
that
be all
many.
down for it.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I like them, but usually it's like 2 sea days. Like, I don't like. Would I like 8 sea days? I think I would because they're good at giving. Because what it would do is it forced me to chill. And I never have time to chill in my life. Like I am constantly working at home, like all the time. So I would like that. Like I never get a chance to like read a book. Like I would probably read, I haven't read a book in forever. Like I would probably maybe do that. Who knows?
Yeah, you absolutely would.
Maybe it would look like the Love Boat, maybe. So who knows? All right,
I'd take
407-584.
I would take midday naps, like because like you do 4 night cruises, you're like I'm not
Yes.
sleeping.
I take a nap. I do take naps here because I get up.
I would
super early.
relax for once, like on a cruise.
Oh
Which
my gosh.
is kind of what you're supposed to do, right?
And Terry went through the Panama Canal in a ferry type boat. Oh my gosh,
Oh,
that's
nice.
amazing.
See, I'm curious about like river cruises too. At some point, like those
Yes.
can intrigue me a little bit.
Me too. I heard they're super expensive though, but yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. I know.
That's,
I know.
that's why I was
know.
like, I'm probably out on that, but yeah, I'm super
We
intrigued.
just gotta. I know John's wanting to manifest candlelight professional narrators. I want to manifest some Powerball numbers too while we're at it too, so that we can take these
Candlelight
experiences.
processional. I got you. Oh, by the way, you're speaking of Hotchberg. Dan Cisneros is in the chat now. Do you remember he was like always listening to WDW Today, one of those super fans back in the day. I believe he's out in New Mexico, or was at least at some point.
Oh, wow.
He asks,
Okay.
could the Galactic Star Cruise? See, I'm old. I remember all those shows. See, Dan, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I think I remember that stuff from like 15 years ago.
Impressive.
See, they used to ring the bell. We ring the bell. Could the Galactic Star Cruiser have worked as a standalone resort rather than an immersive, interactive experience? So I guess that's kind of like maybe dumbing it down. That's kind of a terrible term, but right. Maybe not making it so intense where it's just a resort.
I don't know because like it's so like because there's like no windows or anything in there, right? Like I don't know. Like it feel weird, I think. As like a
So what if you made
standalone
it
resort.
okay? But so what if you okay? So let's take that to the next end. Let's say you
Mhm.
take the resort like they took the Galactic Star Cruiser with those kind of rooms, but they put windows instead. They actually did have windows. They threw a couple swimming pools on the grounds, and they made it more of a hotel.
That would have a better chance because I feel like you got to have some some pools
Yeah.
and things like that. Maybe like I guess they kind of had like the restaurant and like yeah, there was like the restaurant in there, so you got the dining in there too. So that would I think that would work. Because I don't know, that was like my fear about it. Like there was no pool, like it didn't feel like a hotel at all. Like it was just an experience, really, is what it was, and you're just sleeping there and then waking up and continuing the experience.
Right.
But
And I
I
think, you
think
know
some
what?
windows and some pools would
yeah.
definitely enhance that for a resort.
I think that's what it is. You know, they went all in on the 100%. This is an immersive experience, which is what they were selling, right? And that's why they had it at that high price point that this is a very special, you know, you can only get this here. It's only going to be for a very limited amount of people. This is either going to work, we're all in. And I get it. That's why they did that. But if you want to have something that is going to be for more mass appeal, you would have built instead of a immersive experience, you would have built a themed hotel that would have been, you know, more akin to like a very, very, very themed Pop Century or Art of Animation, you know, with like,
How about they retheme Hollywood Studios to be more about the movies again, and you turn that into like a movie theater type resort or something? And then because then you'll have like the entrance in the Hollywood Studios from there. I don't know. I like that. That's just me wanting to get Hollywood Studios themed back to more movies, though.
I agree because I think it's the people that, and it's sad to say, but I mean, you know, as days and days go by, there's going to be fewer and fewer people that experienced Disney's Hollywood Studios as MGM, you know, and got to see the great movie ride and got to see what the
backlot tour
the backlot tour and all that, because, you know, people say, well, people don't have the attention span for that stuff. But I think if you did it right, people would. You know, I think that that stuff could still work, but, you know, maybe we're still yelling at clouds at this point. But Disney just has such a catalog of things, and they're always still coming out with new movies. I still think it could. I just think that it doesn't always have to be addition by subtraction. Like we can have Mickey and Minnie's, but we can also have something else. Like it didn't have to be like one of the other.
That one still stings me the most out of anything. Just losing great movie ride. But I love Mickey and Minnie's too. Like,
I know
we could have had both. I feel like we could have done both.
Yes. I mean, we're getting a whole new land at the Magic King. We're getting basically, I mean, Villains Land is getting added. We're getting, you know, Piston Peak, but we're losing Tom Sawyer Island, Rivers of America.
Every time you
so,
say that.
be careful what you say. You did what in your cup? So here we go. You know, Dan says just went to Universal Hollywood, and the Backlot Tour is one of the most popular attractions because there's always going to be people, because movies are always going to be popular. Like, it's just what
it's a cool, unique experience.
People want to see how it. I mean, everybody goes to the movies. I mean, I don't go to the movies very often, but most people go to the movies and they want to see. It's just interesting for everybody, and everybody wants to get a peek. You know, even if it's
you can still see Catastrophe Canyon. You just gotta go to the Studios Park at Disneyland Paris, and then they still have that there.
Yeah,
but like, we should have that in Florida too.
Catastrophe Canyon was awesome. I just remember that tanker truck like coming at you.
It's so good.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's themed to cars.
Oh, it is.
Like
okay.
Yeah, it's kind of cool though. But yeah,
we should do like what's better, because here we go. Jason says, I want a Maelstrom to stay and put Frozen in Hollywood Studios. Now, see, I agree with Norway's still pretty nice. Like they did a pretty decent job of adding Frozen to Norway. Like I have to give it to that. Like, it could have been worse. It's not bad, but if I had my druthers, I'd still rather have. I feel bad because I feel like I'm an old man when I say this, but I loved Maelstrom.
Because Maelstrom was more like real Norway, where Frozen is Arendelle. You know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And World Showcase should be more about learning culture. Like I know, like no one ever sat and watched that film, the Norway film, but like I liked that little 5-minute film when he got off.
Did you? I mean, I did. I mean,
oh yeah.
How many times did you listen to it on Magical Mouse Radio?
Norway,
yeah.
Before we went on a cruise to Norway last year, we watched that film like so many times, like on YouTube, just like getting psyched for it.
Here's the funny thing about that: when we had Magical Mouse Radio, because like I'd leave it playing down in the basement, you know, like all the time, like just leave the stream going just to make, because that way I knew it was up, right? Because like, you know, something didn't go wrong with the station
for sure.
And so, you know, the whole basement at our old house would be dark because I did the podcast in Mallory's toy room, right? So it was like with all the dolls, all these, you know, what are those? I forgot my girl dolls. What are they called? My something. She had all these dolls and toys and stuff in the corner, and the computers on this little old hutch, and that show would be playing. Remember how that thing went? Did you?
Yes.
Dude, I'll be down there. I think it'd scare the crap out of me.
That video was actually kind of like darker than I remembered it when we started watching it again last year. Like,
it would like that like C would like jump up or whatever in that part of the movie and be like, did you? I remember one time Eddie gave me a heart attack. I thought it was dolls was coming at me. I was like, what is
That's
that?
so funny.
Because it was super
So,
quiet.
you know, like the movie films, like, were we supposed to get like an updated China film like years ago?
Yeah,
I mean, I love that film though, but like an update to that could be really good too.
Oh yeah, yeah. But again, see, here I am. I love the I don't want to take out the old China because I love that old guy. Like I love the old like.
Oh yeah, that guy is great.
Of the
like the narrator guy,
and I am gone. Like I don't want to lose him. Yes, I don't want to lose that guy.
I listened to that endlessly on Magical Mouse Radio. Though.
I did too.
I loved it when that came up.
I did too. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's the whole thing is like, I think for us, because we're getting to the top of the hour, but I don't know, I guess I'm going to call because I didn't want to break the stuff. But, and I appreciate you guys, but, you know, like Dan's been going, I know he's been going to Walt Disney World forever, like us, and a lot of us. I think for folks like us that have been going for quite a while, it's comfort level, or it's comforting, I would say, is that when you go back and like, okay, I can walk into China, and it's kind of like, I think why I listen to 80s music, right? I don't even actively listen to 80s music. It's just like when I hear a song like, oh my gosh, I remember when I heard that song at Aloha Roller Rink, like subliminally, like I don't even like actively think that, but I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was at Aloha Roller Rink. That was a good time when I was a kid. So I go back to like, you know, the old Canada movies and, you know, like France or China or whatever, like Maelstrom, like that right there. They all have these memories to them, where with these newer things, I don't have as much attachment. I don't have this like, you know, attachment, these stories to them. I don't know. What do you think about that?
No, that makes sense. And that's kind of like the beauty of Walt Disney World, right? Like, so that's kind of what like draws you back to going, is to have those memories, those trigger points. But again, like I love the new stuff too. Like
I do too.
Like I love that there's new stuff and it's evolving for new generations and for me to experience, you know, like I just, because we go so often, like it'd actually be kind of dull if it never did change, honestly. So like I love bringing on the new things, but every now and then, though, they break your heart with like a great movie ride going away. Oh man, like every time I think about the great movie ride, I do get like kind of bummed out. I'm not gonna lie.
It
But
was one of the best things Disney ever did. I mean, it was pure Disney because it was the magic of the movies. There was the cast
we had a
members kind of
cast
made
member
it.
like acting
That
in
was
it.
it. Yeah, because the cast members were part of it. And it was, when you took a first timer, right? That was like, if you had a first timer
best.
sitting next to you, like, and you got to the indie scene, like they had no
Mhm.
idea, what was about to happen and unfold.
Mm-hmm.
Freeze, non-believer, whatever that was. Like, I love that. Like, I was like,
It was
let's
so good.
go. It's like one of those things. It was just, yeah, it was so good. And it's
Mhm.
one of those things too that you just, at the time you would say, in 3 years, this attraction is not going to be here. You'd say you're crazy. And so
Right.
that's why
they could have updated. I mean, I love the Casablanca scene and Footlight Parade, and they could have updated those maybe,
yeah.
and still kept. I don't know.
I still had never seen like any of those movies. Like I've never seen Casablanca. I've never seen
And I
Footlight
hate to say
Parade or any of
this.
that.
I hate to
I
say
should
this
have.
because it's like very IP, but they could have like even made the Great Disney Movie Ride, where it's like Disney movies or something,
Yeah.
even. And you still would have had like they could have like still kept like the person getting hijacked in the car like in some funny way. Like I'm sure they could have come up with something creative with it, but still kept it fresh with like Disney movies or something too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just.
It's such a good attraction.
But yeah,
Well,
great show tonight, Mike. I know like we had some technology issues, but we got through it. I
Yep.
hope everyone enjoyed it.
And we'll have it back together next week. Again, I appreciate our audience because they're the most patient audience that we try hard every week. And sometimes these things creep up, but we always try to have fun conversation that you can take along with you on your runs, your walks, maybe your dog enjoyed the conversation. And maybe you didn't have your headphones in. Who knows? Roof, roof. But we'll be back
Gotta
again
get
next
some
week.
love to our BR Guest podcast pets. Too,
Yes, we love
because I know they hear. I know they hear
Oh
us.
man, they have to put up with us as well. Riley's right on the other side of the door, waiting for me to take her out. I just she listens right through the door. She only hears one side of the show though. She doesn't hear you.
No,
because
but if you play it in the Jeep when you go
that's
to
true.
Taco
Yeah,
Bell.
I do. Yeah, exactly. She's like, Mark, turn on the show. So I do. All right, so we're going to jump out of here. We'll have great shows for you this week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you have questions for the show, we can get those in this week. So send those to Mike at brguestpodcast.com. Put listener question in the title, and we'll get those on the podcast for you. And don't forget that our shows are always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love your support. Come on over, throw in a quote. We'll take care of you from there. No cost to you, free concierge level service every time. Just swing by the website at themagicforless.com today. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link. It's brguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Anytime you shop online, that supports the show. And you can become a patron of the show. It's $5 a month. And for that, you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. What's that dog's name, Nicole? We got to give the dog a shout out.
Taco
I
the
didn't
dog
see
is
it.
listening
Taco.
right
Oh my
now.
gosh, it's a perfect name for a dog. Hang on.
Yeah. Not to interrupt you there though, but Taco the dog is listening. That's why we gotta give love to the pets too. Absolutely.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
There you go for Taco the dog. Back to the Patreon ad. $5 a month. You get Mike in the Midwest, our bonus show. Taco the dog approves. Come on over. Patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Thanks so much to all of our patrons and our pooches. All right. Also, where am I? I have no idea at this point. Let's see. You can follow us on the social media at Be Our Guest. Mike is where I am on Instagram, x.com, and Threads. Scotty G, Epscott, EPSCOT, Taco. He's on the same places. But where you got to get him? Very pet friendly. Must see adventures. Get there now. Like and subscribe, especially if you want to go to Vegas. I see all the lights. Scott, what's happening on the channel?
Yeah, so we just started a new series. So if I shared some of that awesome veranda that we had over Labor Day weekend. So if you want to know what an aft facing a veranda is like, we got a video on that. An old Nashville video that we did with our friends Jared and Stacy. But right now we just started a new series, and it started off in Vegas, which is kind of weird. I had a work conference several months ago. There's snow on the ground back home in that video.
Like it was 100 degrees this weekend. What are you doing?
Yeah. So it's not all conference stuff. It's a lot of me because my girls weren't there. But if you want to see some Vegas lights and some Vegas restaurants, things to do there. So that's a fun video. But it's leading up to a cruise on the Disney Wish. So we're going to have a fun day at Coronado. French Quarter Jason and Veronica in the chat are going to be in the next episode. So if you want to see them, like, go check it out. And then, then we're going to stay on the Disney Wish. So it's going to be some fun Disney videos coming up.
By the way, I flew over you on that video because I was flying home from Disneyland. And you were in Vegas at the time. Yes, and I saw you on Five My Friends when I was on the plane. I'm like, by the way, I'm right over the top of you.
Because I remember you tried to get me to come out there because I was so close. But I had to be at like a Sunday conference because they kick off on Sundays.
I said, dude, you were like one state over. Just come on over, dude. I got the room.
Like a 4-hour drive away.
I was like, come on, but you couldn't. You had to go to the conference, but that's how it is. So again, Must See Adventures. You got to like and subscribe right now. You got all the videos to watch. Binge, do it all, and then share while you're there because everybody needs to check them out. Do it. All right. Also, we'll have the live show next week. Again, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. God willing, the phones will work. I took a picture. I know all the settings.
Maybe we should get the pets to call. Maybe Taco can call.
Taco, yes. Yes. I mean, except Ricky's dog last week, by the way, scared everybody. I got all kinds of feedback from that. Scared me. Well, did you not listen to the Friday?
I have it downloaded. I have not listened to it yet.
The very last second of the Friday show, her dog comes in hot. Like, "Rawr!" Like it scared me. Like 5 seconds.
Scared everybody.
Scared everybody and all the listeners too. So just be ready. You'll be startled if you haven't listened yet. So anyway, yeah, exactly. So be ready for that. But yeah, we'll have a live show next Sunday night. And the clubhouse. That's where you need to be. We just got a new friend over there from Boston right before the live show. So I appreciate that. Got to talk to him. You need to be over there. It's the friendliest place on the internet. We just have a great it's like a big potluck. Scott wouldn't like that. Just kidding. It's so much fun though.
I mean, I'll still go to the potluck.
Exactly. Scott will go to the potluck. He just won't have a spoon in his hand.
I'll still talk to people.
Exactly. It's the greatest place ever. It's free for everybody. We just have a good time hanging out, talking life, talking Disney. You need to be a part of the family. Come on over. It's beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. All right, time to jump out of here and wish you a great week, great Sunday night. Oh, we have an awesome show for you tomorrow as well for the folks tuned in live. Greg from Knoxville, Tennessee joins us, man. It's a great trip report. You're going to really enjoy this one. So strap in for that. And he needs you to download the shows, man, because he's a Vols fan and it was a tough one for them. I mean, all Texas Roadhouse was groaning. It was
raise your hand if you're 3-0.
Greg, I'm sorry, man.
Hopefully we can continue that tradition every Sunday.
Exactly. But yeah, do it for Greg. It was, if that would have been my team, I'd still be MIA. So we're going to be, I hope he's not in the chat. All right. So we'll be back with you this week with some great shows. So until then, for Scotty G over at Must See Adventures, I'm Mike here in Missouri. You guys have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.